Let's check here. I received a video here. Is there? Let's check it in a let's check this one.
Are you just a freshly graduate and you are unemployed? Or are you still in school and you're looking for other means or other source of income? Especially as we have now moved from the Web 2 to the Web 3. Come closer. I have an offer for you. And guess what? It is tuition free. Yes. We are a company called the WIMS-Cardano. And under the WIMS-Cardano, we have the education sector, which is what the Coxygen Global universities, where facilitators all over the world, facilitators come around, virtually to teach students. We currently have over 400 plus students that are learning these great skills. Do you know what? Another offer we have is that in the course of your training, we'll certify you with the EBU. EBU is called the European Business University of Luxembourg. Yes, it's a certificate in Haskell Bluetooth, which is what we train students in. To train you guys in Haskell Bluetooth, ensuring that you, at the end of the day, you are able to build decentralized applications, work in the Web3 space, and earn in the Web3 space. So if you know this offer hits you so hard and you do not want to carry your curriculum vitae up and down, your resume up and down, join us now. How do you join us? Check on our website. It will be dropped. The link will be dropped on this video. Do well to like, to share, and to send to as many persons that need this advice. Remember, the world has moved from Web 2 to Web 3. So it is either you are moving with us or you remain stagnant. I'm sure you don't want to be stagnant. Have a lovely day.
How is it? Very nice, man.
Attractive.
Very beautiful. That is nice. All right. First, I need to
primary school.
Yeah.
So can you mute your mic?
Okay. We are having 4 teams now. All right. I want to check with you, Matimba, and your group. All right. Support is online there.
Yeah.
You can mute your mic, and I can hear from you. Right. The first thing I want to get from you, Matimba, just give me brief update. What have you covered? What have you done?
Okay, so since the group was started, the first thing we did it's the testing on the quizzes, and then after that we started the GitHub. But I didn't cover much on GitHub. I did the cloning and bench and to push it. So I was thinking of doing a pull request today. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the update that I can give you.
All right. That is great. I also want all these students to complete Haskell Bluetooth
Okay.
for that one, because I also need to pay for their EBU certification. You see what was advertised today. It's a European business university that has got qualifications on Cardano, Haskell Bluetooth, which Cardano uses a lot. And I'm paying for students. So I don't want these students to miss out because they are doing testing. That is why I'm very much interested in seeing them also join that side. Right. I haven't found time to go through what you did, but I want to go through it, fix it, and like you have sent me all the reports. Let me check. Did you all collect all the reports from everyone and send me? Or sending me one by one? Because yeah, my email is full of lots of emails.
Okay, I understand. So we were like, it was me and Frederick, and let me check and then
Yeah, I would be happy if they can all send you PDFs.
Yeah, it was in PDF the time I shared with you on the email.
Yeah. I want PDF from each individual, because each individual is going to have a folder. The testing, whatever you find, don't upload them on GitHub. You just email them to me. Maybe they can all send them to you, and then you all send them to me. Then I put them in your folder for testing.
Okay. So those who participated on that quiz testing was Kolile Sibanda and Masatsi and Frederick Kato and me. And Kolile did 1 to 10, and Masatsi did 11 to 20, and Frederick did 21 to 30, and then I take the rest.
Yeah. All right. It is fine. There are some new students you got. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So all the new students, they are welcome. Right. I want to give you a Jimba testing. Right. And then I will want to show you how Jimba testing just in maybe 5-10 minutes. Then I will go. Then you can carry on with the GitHub, because everyone must have GitHub. And then what I want you to test, to know how to test using Jimba. Okay. Right. Let me just show you the testing using Jimba and what is Jimba and where do we use it. Right, when I did this Cardano property solutions, this is for selling houses. But now I am selling houses using Cardano Header. But I want to show you how each web page, whether you come here, come here, come here, or you come here. I was testing it using Jimba. Now, what is Jimba? If you come to NPM here, you see this is the link to get Jimba. I'll give it to you here and send it to your group. This is where you download Jimba. Right. Let me also send you here Jimba testing framework. There's somebody with a mic on. Matimba, you can mute. All right, thanks. Right. When you are using VS Code, when you are using Node.js, let me go to VS Code. You need to have Node installed. So let me start a new simple project for you. Right, I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see the terminal? Yeah, you can see. Right. As long as you can see this terminal where I am. Right, let me create a directory called testing. Let me go to FB. Then here I open it with, before I tell you what to open it with, you need to have Node. Right, this is the node that I have, but any node installed on your machine must be there. So what you need here is install Node.js. So I put it there so that you know, because you need Node to download this from NPM. Right. Let me now go to VS Code. Right, so this is, it has nothing inside here. So let me bring in a project, the node demo project for a simple static website. So you know, when you are using Node, you want to download the package here. We need a package, Node, just a package for this one here. So we can initiate Node project. You need that configuration thing. So you say my node, this, we run this init. What is this init? This one will put up everything inside, and then this one will then create this for you. So from here, I'm going to say npm init1. Okay, there we have it. So then here in this package, we need to add what do you call it, that Jimba is a dependence. Let us do that. So on this skeleton here, this is the skeleton package we have. We need, of course, for now, we said this is a testing version 1. The main is index. We do not have the index yet. So we can create the index.html. For me, to be .html. Right, there we have it. We are going to put something here. Then I will show you how to, but we need to download the Jimba from actually we don't need this. We can just go ahead and use the npm install Jimba. But are we going to win here? Let's see what it will install. Right, it did the correct thing. Yes, I think you have seen it. Another thing, we can edit to the packet manager here. There it is edited, which is the quicker one. All right, let me stop here so that we discuss about how this thing works. Were you able to follow here? There it is. I got it by just typing npm install Jim. Right, let us test now this website. This website is going to have HTML content and the JavaScript. I've done this. With this one, you don't even need this part here, but this is the normal node projects which we do. All right, I hope the previous one is finished. All right, it is separated this file. So let's have the file here. Okay. This is for this part here. We are not going to use this. I don't think so. Now our index. There's another file for CSS. Okay, let's test this. Well, we can test using this whole line. See what this displays. Right. Do you see I have created a website, just a very basic website here. Put a basic and go to the top and say hello. Right. So what we need now is the console. You see here. So at the moment, all this is not working because it is MIME text failed to load the server. Let's see. 65. This one was not loaded. Not found. Okay. This was not found. And yes, yeah, I put it inside node. Yeah, it's supposed to be outside. Okay, let's reload. Okay, so now, see, now this is working. From here now, I'm going to start using Chimba. This part, if you come here, we need to import Chimba from this one here. Say import, right? What are you going to import? From Chimba. There we go. Okay. Then you need to see now what you import, what you are going to use here. You can come to the Chimba part or to the README part. You copy this. You import two things. Then object is good. These fields only dash D underscore OP underscore O M. And you can see this one is on, like that. This one is a little bit older. Right, so this one is wrong, old. Correct one is this one down here. What you see here, this is the correct thing. So what you do, each one of you copy all this. These are the training tutorials you must go through. Going to go through them very quickly. So we are importing OP and J. Right, let me close this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. Yeah. It. Only thing I need is this. So you come back to this app here. OP, that one, and J. These are the only two that you need. Then you need to configure these objects. Configure them. You can copy this. Here. So given any website, any front end where there is JavaScript, you are going to use this to test. Right, before we go through testing here, let me show you on this slide here how it works, how it has helped me. It helps everyone who is using it. Right, do you see when this page is running, whatever I am doing here, this is Jimba. You will see here Jimba. Okay. Then here you see Jimba has started. This Jimba has started. But how do you do that? You need to create an object. If you can follow also this rhythm, normally you might find that Jimba has started, or you can create it by yourself. So what you need is to say const started. Then this is a string to say 1, 2, 3, Jimba started. Okay. Right. And then on this side, do you remember this is where we normally run the console log. Console.log started. So I want you to see the difference between console.log started and j.log. This is j.log. You put a curly bracket, started. Let me save. You will see the difference between j.log and console.log. J.log is this Jimba. Console.log is our normal console we use to test the front end. Right. Says close all. Right. Let's go again. Is this close? And then let's close this. Yeah, that one is for the register. But let's test it first on this static. Where is the static? This one here. We test it here. And let's save it. It says import statement outside a module. Okay, so what it is saying here, it is saying here on our HTML, we need to make this a module. So you add here type equals module. Okay, right. And now it is saying uncaught error failed to resolve module specifier Jimba. Relative references must be. I must add this. I think this is what it is asking for. Oh, this one here. Right, our Jimba is inside. Where is the Jimba now? But we can pull it outside because now the Jimba is not here. Do you see that? Jimba is inside that node module. And then there it is. It has got the distribution part. It has got this part, the compiled part, the minified part. For now, we don't need this. All what you need for now is simply the source code, this one. This is the file that you need. So it is inside Jimba, inside Node.js. I prefer to take it out in these two. Just click them out. Because now this is referring to this, which is this Jimba. Then we can rename this. Remember, this is Jimba. Let us rename it to Jimba. And then this is the README for Jimba. Now this is direct. This means Jimba is here. Let's come back. We still have got this error here. Specifier Jimba relative must be on this one here. Let me check first. I have the app here. I have the Jimba here. All right, let's go back. On our app here, this is where, again, we need to specify this. Let's check. All right, 44 not found. Import from. Come on, man, maybe. We have the app here. We have the Jimba here. The spelling error. And then what we might do, we might have both of them. Let me add here. And this one, let it be Jimba. Okay. Right, let's get back to the app. Normally, when you import Jimba on top, on this app, this is where you write your test. Let me check. Site. All right, let me show you this one here. So this one, if you want to see, it is a module here. This is all the top part. This is the Coxygen part. Now, here is the Jimba part. Now, this Jimba part is this on the index. So we can go to our index here and take out the app. And only use it here. We simply leave this as a module. Then we do our coding here. I was doing this here. We don't need to do that. We can leave that file where it is and do here. This will see. Okay. Let me check, make it run. I have that one is not working. Module. Right at the footer. It doesn't matter where you put it. I'm not put it here. But I'm running it straight from here. I don't need this. Don't need this. Import. But I'm going to open there for the door. But meanwhile, all of you, if you have got your VS Code, copy what I have done here. I'll be just back now. But I'm back. Setting it up is normally very easy. I don't know why I just took some time, but it's normally very easy. All what you do to set up Jimba, you add a script tag here. And then from there, you import where your Jimba.js is coming from. In this case, it is within the same directory. It is not in a folder. And then let's maybe stop and run this again, so that maybe it loads the correct thing. Right, now it is running. You can see now it is running. I want you to compare now. Do you see pass is green? I want you to compare now with this. You can see this one, it shows you, this is what it is showing you. And then here it says pass. This one doesn't tell you, it just says started ... Jimba. Right. Now you can begin to explore Jimba from here. We don't use console log, but I will use console log now so that you see why Jimba is better than console log. When I created it, it was meant to be better than console log. But if you want to put your script for Jimba on a separate file, well, you can put it on the app, it will still work. But all what you need to say script type module. Then here you import it. Correct path, it will run. Right, let us put one here. When we put one and save, look what has happened now. Now I'm getting this with this, but the console log, it is just showing you this. It is not showing you the other part. But let me come here. Do you see a way it says -m, opt.-m? This one now is going to show us the stack traces. Yes, do that. Do you see now? It is showing us exactly where in the index, which line is this one. You see exactly line 18. Now this is useful now on your page to know where is the failure, where is the passing of Jimba. One thing you need to know is it runs here as private. So if I create a variable here, down here I put a script tag, I try to use the variable, it is not available. So the module makes sure that everything runs only here. So what does it mean? It means if down here I'm going to be using Jimba 2, this, then you need to import it so that it's available. That is the limitation of this module type, whatever. So then it means you can put all your script here, or you can move all your files. It still works, must work, to a separate file. Remember here there was a script, this one here. It still works. You can move it here. Still, it must work. Then we have it down here. Depends on where you want it. I normally want it right at the top. Normally want it here. These are just for that button click. We don't need this. I'll just leave it, but we don't need it. So I want to show you here, it also works. If it doesn't work, it's a matter of you have not pointed to the right file. There is the Jimba there. Right, we need to make this a module, remember? Module. This is the same as that. It must make it work. Let's check. Hey, that's what I was showing you. It's still the same. Right, setting up is very easy. You can set it up on your desktop without VS Code. It will work. Right, now what I want to do now, I'm going to show you how to go through the README file. Now let us start doing some real tests now. Let's have a function. Okay, I'm going to create a function here. And then call it. Right, let me edit here, below here. Probably you can say one. Add function. But here I'm outside TypeScript. So these TypeScript type annotations, you don't need them. I will start very simple, then add some other things bit by bit. So I've got a function add that adds 2 input. That's 1. Okay. So here I have given it few things, maybe 48 plus that number there. Right, so now you remember you can use two things again. You can use console log answer, and then you can use J log answer. There we go. Now let's see this side, how it looks like. So I want you to see here, this is the console. This is the console. Am I right? It is the console. Just click here. You can see here, this is the console part. And then answer, that is answer. Object, this is the console log. Console log is like this. And then when we come down to Matimba now, you open it. Right. You can see how different is it now. It's a little bit similar. Answer, answer, JLog. And then here you can see it is Matimba log. Now here you can see it is telling you exactly where is this answer in the file from. In this case, it passed, but it is on app. You can click here and you go straight to where it is. Console log does not have that ability. Oh yeah, it does have it here, up until here. So far, here and here is the same. Basically the same. If you look at the console log here and Matimba here, at the moment it's 50-50 here. On the other side here, this one, was that the console log? Yeah, it was just, yes, this was the console log. So the console log from this side, it did not give you, it just says app number 11, which is fine, like here, app.js 11 log. So at the moment, we don't see much difference. You'll see the difference that this thing has. Now, we have tested the add with a hard-coded values, okay? Now, we want to test it with non-coded values. We want to test it with non-coded values, okay? So I'm going to copy this, bring it there. Run it, then you will see its advantage. Normally, this one, you put it right at the end. Allow me to delete this for now or to comment it out. Normally, this one, you put it right at the end, this part here, test pack. You put it right at the end of the page. In here, all the different function tests, unity tests, you do this test pack, you do it right at the end. Now, let us start here with the number 1. Right, with number 1 here now, we move this to our test pack here. Then let me delete this one here. Right, my function is there. I am testing it here. Now, what I want to do now with this, Let me take out this now. I want to introduce arbitraries because I'm hard coding testing it, but this is one test because I've given 48 and 9150. So then I say my 8 is working. No, my 8 is not working. Let me check this side. Jtrix is not defined. All right. Jtrix is a function also here. So you need to import it. But does not provide an export name Jtrix. Okay. Which means the file let's check it here. I might just be confusing it. This one was upgraded. All right, let me search for the function J. With JLog, JTest. So that one is supposed to be JTest, JCheck. So I'm showing you where this is JS for start, JE for end, RTP, and then trick. It's not J tricks, it's J.tricks. There it is. All right, let's go back and see where it says doesn't know about J. The reason why it's making an error is because I didn't put a full stop. Right, I'm going to reload this part here. Go live. Let's go to the console. Hey, Jimba does not provide an export name J6. Oh yes, this is supposed to be out now. I have corrected that. This one, we don't need it. It is part of J. It is part of that J. There we go. What I want you to see now, you are seeing now how many times that function was called when the page loaded once. You see, it was called 21 times. Let me load it. So this now is telling you a bug. When you load your page once, you are not aware behind that your function is called 21 times. It is called 21 times. It has been called 21 times by the testing library. Let me come back here, explain. This test page is going to loop 21 times. That is the default. Where can we change that default? Let's go to Jimba, right at the top. Show you why it's locked with 21. Where can you change it? There it is. Do you see here TN underscore TN? Right. Let's change this value so that it doesn't only loop 21 times. So this 20 times, it is giving you 20 different numbers. We are going to see how you get your 20 different numbers. So we can edit here and say opt this one. And then give it a number. Now let's say test 100 times. So when I run now, hey, this AI sometimes annoying. Now, when I run now, here, you see now, it has tested my function 100 times. But you will say, but you are still having the same values input, are still the same. So of what use is that? Let me show you now. We need to introduce properties here for generating. So I'm going to say const a first number, f number, and then I'm going to say equals. Then we are going to look for a function that generates random numbers between a given range. Where do we get that? You say j dot to look for the functions. Answer j opt test peg car digits. Now I can take this one G A N O, generate a random number. You can see a minimum and maximum. So that is the one, or you can use generate number. Also, this one works. GNO means generate number. Then now, this generate number, I need to give it the minimum number. In this case, I will say, all right, let's go minus 100. Then I must give it a maximum 100. So there it looks like. Look at how it looks like. So now my first number, this one now, is randomly generated in a range of minus 100 to plus 100. I want to see how my tests on add are going to behave when I give it random number. So I'm adding this, it's going to be randomly generated. Then I do the same here for the second number, const. This time I'm going to say second number equals, and then you can see the j dot gn, not this one with a, but they are the same. I think it's a duplication. So this one again, it's up to you what range you want. But the second one now, I've given it 1,000 to 10,000 to 10,000. Right. So here we will want to see when it comes here, what is the number? And here the log, it will log for us and tell us the number. And then tell us the second number. So here we put the second number. Okay. All right, so I'm going to run, but remember now, we don't need this, but for now I'll keep it. I want you to see this part only. All right, let me leave the console so that you see its problem. And I've done there. 200. If now is not defined, so if number, yes, this one is supposed to be a small o. Right, FNO here, right, here we go. This one you are going to enjoy it, and it will introduce you to the other. Now, this makes more sense. Now, do you see where my test failed? It failed here. The add failed here. I've given it random numbers, up to 299 different random numbers for the first number, the second number. So now you are hardening your function testing. So in 299, I have one failure now. I have one failure. If you had not done this, what we call it a property arbitrary-based testing, you are going to test it once. Let me show you again. I'll show you the two. I'll copy this one here to the top, the way it works. This is how we develop our software. We have a function, we write a console log, and then we say console log answer. We give this a random number like, okay, give it 74. I'm testing it with a 63. What happens? This passes. If you look at this one, it will pass. And then you carry on coding 1 million lines of code doing the same thing. And you are happy. My code is working, my code is fine. But the fact remains, think, I have only tested my function with only two pairs, 74 and 63. But down here, you see this said here, testing add function. Here, if you look here, I have tested add with so many different numbers. And it showed me my add fails when something happens. Now we can check again. This time it didn't fail. Can load. Didn't fail. Didn't fail. But what I want you to see now, do you see this? It keeps changing these functions here. Let's run. It fails now. There is a loophole in my code I never reasoned. Right. So, because there is a certain loophole that fails the add function. So let us search, when does my function fail? And what is that failure according to Chino? Let's go up, look for that one. Fortunately, it is one, which is okay. There it is. You see what it is saying? It is saying the second number is this. That is the second number. And then first number, I'm not sure now. We've got an answer. But this is the second number. The first number is this one here. Now, think now. When the first number is 0 and the second number, it failed because it says here the first number generated is a 0. So, of course, when we add here 0 plus this, it doesn't change anything. But the very fact that Jimba came across 0, then it was a problem there. You might say, but 0 plus this is not an error. Correct. Jimba is alerting you that there is another null in your test. Check it physically. It can happen that that null can cause a problem, but because I'm doing a DC, I can ignore it and say, all right, Jimba, this one is fine. Now, let us go and do another test, then come back and discuss. This time, I'm going to do division. Right. So I'm going to do the same code, but change it to division. This time, div. Right, I'm going to call it div. When we have two pairs, of course, when we're dividing, we have a numerator and a denominator. Then here we are going to say this is the answer. Right, and then when we call our div, and then inside here, for now, I'm going to leave it like this, like those two, hard-coded, because this one you have seen, I think you're beginning to see a problem with that one. Right, the console log doesn't have this bracket, but the Jimba is the one. I want you to see how you write the Jimba. The Jimba is short, it's a J dot, it's not a console log dot. Number two, the Jimba, you open a bracket and you close a bracket. Console log, there is no that. Number three, Jimba, test one variable. Console log, you can test and put a message and make it a bigger object. It will work like that. So you can combine things in a console log. So this one, you only test one variable. So in your page, if you have got 100 variables, you must have 100 j.logs. That is why they are short, and you put them same line with the variable declared. Okay, so let's come here now. And then now we call it arbitrary testing or property testing. So here we are going to say 0, 2. What are we testing? Div function. Okay, and then there is the div function. But remember now, we use the arbitraries. We can still use these numbers here. It's still fine. So we can just still use these ones. It is still fine. Which means, or alternatively, if you want, you can give it a different range. I think giving it a different range here is better. So I'm going to say this one is for div. First number for div, second number for div. And then here I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to make it 1000. And then here I'm going to make it more. Yeah, I can make it smaller or more there. Right, I'm calling the div with this number now. Right. Then our div answer there. Let's test it. Now, the first thing you need to see here is look at this. Now, there are 6 errors. Okay, let us check where are those 6 errors. Now, but now this thing is too long now. If you look, it's too long. If I move to 100,000 tests, now it becomes a problem to track the errors. Let's go back to Jimba and configure it on top. Now here under Jimba, let us say, all right, Jimba, I want you to show me failures only. All right, are these the failures only? Right, then let us switch off this. Let's switch off this to 0. There is still this one here, which is object. You must see what I'm doing here. This is your DP switch. You know your electricity, your house is a DP switch where you decide where you want to see the lights. This is our Jimba DP switch. You are setting it up to say, I said I only want to see the failures only. Right, Let me switch up everything. Okay, let's go. Right, I say I want to see the test. I want to see the failures only. My test range is 100. See here. Right, I didn't switch it correctly. Right, let me say T. Okay, let me switch off this. There is still another one. Run test. Run only failing test. Okay, so at the moment, what should happen? All this must not show. Oh yeah, my work is working fine, but I think this is the console log. It worked. So what is confusing us now is this console log. Let me take it out. Let me take this one out. Because you will never use console log. Right, here now. So now I said run failing test only. I still have a console log. Yeah, I still have this console log under add on top. Here, see this console log. Let me check it out. Let's take this one out. This is going to work the way I want it now. Do you see now? Let me go back to the switch. Here, how many times am I testing this? Many times. I want to see the failing functions only. This fails, this fails. But now, I don't know what made this fail. Was it a division? Was it an add? Let us go back to our DB switch here and say, let's see the state trace. Can open here for the state trace. You see now? Now it begins to show you there is a first number 0. There it is. There's a first number 0 somewhere. And it shows you app number what? Right. Let's go back to our test. I'm adding one. Here, you'll need to play around up until you know how to set it to give you what you want. Right now, 0, 0. Now, let me go back and say functions, because if you are running functions, let's start with O. Let's put 1. What I suggest is start with everything when it is on. When everything is on like this. On. See your results. Nothing, 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 nothing. Then I get 2 errors. Test only, fail only, F functions only, M only, O only. I'm no longer seeing the test. What is the error there? I'm no longer seeing the profiles to test to say how many of this is no longer giving me the, which means what did I make wrong? Test. Let's go again. 1. Still the same. Or maybe I have to reload, because sometimes this thing will require you to close and then open it again. Let's check. reloaded. Yeah, but it's showing me failing test only. Do you see this? It's showing failing test only, but it is not showing me the total runs per function. I'm suspecting I said fails only. But let me put a 0 there. Okay, now it is giving me here. So this is a bug. But oh yeah, no, it's not a bug. Here it gives me the total passes, 62. There are no failures here. So if the failures come, we will see them. This is, yeah, you see now, we have got total passes 600, total failures 2. So if we don't want to see the total passes, because you see, your code that is working fine, it's okay. You've got a very big range of testing. Your code that is failing is the one that is an issue. So we can go back here under fails only at the 1. So do you see here the test 0, which means it must produce what fails. When you don't see anything here, it means you ran out of 100 tests, it didn't find any failure. Now it found 2 failures. It generated a 0 there, and the 0 first number, and the 0 first number. And then we can go back now and increase the range. Let us increase it. Now we are going to do what is called stress testing to say how fast is my browser when I give it more inputs. So I'm going to give it 10,000 tests. Right, it ran 10,000 tests. Do you see? The more inputs come into my source code, the more errors start bubbling up. And again, you can see they are bubbling up on the first number. On the first number, it's bubbling up on the first number a lot. Right, you see 130, 74, 88, 82. You can see now I am having more errors. At what level? At 10,000. What about at 100,000? 960 errors. You see this? You see that? 1,000 errors. But you can still see the page. My page is loading very fast. So now you come here and you throttle it. Come here to network. Where are those switches? We want to throttle this. Network. Yeah, here, disable, throttle. We come here and we put it on 3G. Now let's run it. Now you see at 3G, this is how your computer is going to run. Hey, but still, it's still fast enough, but look at what happened there. Now we want to know how fast are my functions? Because sometimes a function can have a loop and then become slow. So this is where you can come to Jimba now, to your first function here. Normally this one is only one thing happening there. But I want to show you, oh, I made a terrible mistake. Terrible mistake. Do you see here the div function? I didn't divide. Poor me. So now we should see lots of errors. There it is, because now there is division working there. There is 1,000 errors. You can see now we have got a div answer 0, first number 0, I haven't seen an SN for second number, which means this thing, the second part. But let me go to the second arbitrary, which is this one here, where there's a division, and say from 100 to 120. Let's see if we are going to get more errors. Do you see the throttling is helping you see, okay, at 3G, this is how this thing is running. When you can even check the network here, how long it is going to take to finish, 4 seconds, okay? And then it found 1,117 mistakes. Again, go back and stress test it with more. Now I want to give it 1 million. That was 100,000. Now it is going to be generating random numbers and pushing it to the two functions 1 million times. Then now this will help me see my 3G, how long it takes. See, now I have to wait longer. So now I have to wait 4 seconds. Still running, you see, 6 seconds. Up until it finishes. Then look here now. I have 10,568 errors. So when your application, when my application scales and is used by 1 million people worldwide, there will be approximately 10,000 errors. If I had not used the Chimba, I had used my console log, how would I have improved or known these loopholes of my functions? Okay, now here is another beautiful part. It has given me, it has hardened the test, tested my functions, unity test, far on a wider range of different values. And then giving me a little bit of confidence. When must I expect more errors? And I have also throttled this to have an estimate time. You see here it's taking 13 seconds, 5 seconds. Of course, depends on my hardware again. You need to measure your hardware and your software. And also you need to measure your bandwidth. But all these different variables are making you a tester, a better tester. Right, I'm going to stop here and then we talk so that I open up for discussion. Right. You can see still this is 1 million. You can see even the 1 million at a very fast stage, yes. 7, yes, half down. That is happening there. There is a lot with Chimba. You will need to use the documentation here. Go through it. Go through it. And then you'll see here, it gives you, here now, what about if it's a surname? Remember now, there it was numbers. What about if it is a string like a surname? You can generate random characters for a name on a given range. All these are random generators. What about if I want to test my functions against null? Is my function taking null values? Because null values are dangerous. Null, whatever. All different forms of null you have. So you can do a null random generator. This one here. We have got RG value, and then you give it this. It will create a null, a random null. It is there. So now it will be giving you empty null, 0, empty string, whatever, as inputs onto your function. Then you are going to see more red flags coming out, then you'll be going through closing those nulls. That one is a very important testing range. People never think about, I must test my function against different types of null. Null object, a null value, and then a zero, a negative number, a empty string. So all these are different for null, the word null, and then undefined. So this is the generate null. Maybe we can use it so that you see how it works. How it generates these ones, because this one is the one that shows a lot of problems. Okay, I will stop here, but let me show you how you would test a null. Create your variable for test, let's say name. Right. In this case here, I already give it this name, but I'm going to give it this right there. Now I'm going to run it 1 million times. So when I run it here on top, it will run once. But when I put it on my test engine here, let me just put it on my test engine. Here is number 0, 3, testing object null, nullis. Let's call it nullis. Right. Of course, every null, it must be a string of reds. But here it is every time it rounds up here, this generates a random. I think we need to import this one here. I think so. Yeah. I think we need to import it. Yeah, it is there. All right, let's see from this side. Does not provide an export on RG value. I think it's a J. Okay. I think I changed it to J. You can check when you press dot here. There it is G null. The G null. You will see it when you press here. You see that G null. That is the one. Generate null. Let's run it. Yeah. The range and the whatever is too big. Let me check this side again. Log name. Generate null. This is RGN value. All right, let me do this to see what does G null take. Optional number. So in the moment, I don't want to give it a number. I want to use the default. Generate null. Let's see what it gives. Right, let me reduce this number from 1 million so that it's a little bit faster to 1,000. There we go. I'm looking for name. I'm not looking at so, but it's a lot and it's a lot of things to play around because at the moment I only see FN, 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 FN. All right, I can comment out this part here to check. You can see here it is still running. Right, let me reload the server. Live. Reference chip value is not found. All right, let us discuss now. I want you to go now and do comprehensive Jimba testing exercises, because I will be giving you websites, web apps, DReps to integrate with Jimba. That is what I will be doing. I will be giving you website to integrate with Jimba. This one. The README is here. You can download it from NPM. Remember, this one is the old one, but it works. People are using it. It works, this one. You can see weekly downloads 468. It works. People are downloading it. You can download it. This is an old version, but it works. Learn it left and right. It is the one we use to catch up errors everywhere. We are doing in this front side. It does what you see here. This is better. It's beautiful when you run your front side. And you see this. If you go to another part here, this first part, you can see where it's failing. All right, and it runs a series of unity tests on the front side. This is the basic, but the comprehensive one is this one that I've shown you. This one here. All right, let me stop here. Any questions? How do you find? Let's get some feedback from you, Matimba. How do you find it?
I was seeing you coding most. So when you are coding using Jimba, so you have to import Jimba on the app, or you must align it well when you want to test.
All right. What you do here, you are learning how to use Jimba features. Here, what I was testing you today, I was showing you how to use Jimba tester features. Remember, you develop a website. This is a website, a normal website. And then this normal website is going to have front-side JavaScript. It will have always JavaScript. All websites have got JavaScript. Then the problem with the JavaScript we have, we use console log. You see, we use console log to trace and not to test, just to log and trace the variables that you have across. The problem with console log, I didn't tell you more, but you are going to discover more. When your page is too long and now you don't want your console log, like in my case, let's say now I don't want any testing here anymore. When you see this testing here, I don't want it anymore. Let me remove this GR value. Then show you how to get rid of it. So let me just duplicate now. It wants now to it. Right, let me go to this RG value. Take it out. Talking about it, okay. Let me take out this. Yeah, so now it's working. When you are satisfied that your code doesn't need any test anymore. This is what you do. Come to your Jimba dashboard or DP switch here. You switch it off. Everywhere you put zeros. This is now your production code. You are satisfied that you have covered all loopholes, all areas, and all your tests are. Then you come here, you switch off all this. Right. So the moment I save here, all the testing and everything disappears. Then your website runs very fast. Do you see now it has finished in 44 milliseconds? Milliseconds. 44 milliseconds. If I turn Jimba on, which means now it is tracing all the executions that are running there by just putting a 1 there. Right. Let's load it and see. 38 milliseconds, but still look, 5,000. This is now the speed of my PC. It is still running at 38 milliseconds. But if you see now, it is running through showing errors and also showing passes and failures. Then if I don't need this on my page now, because I'm shipping, this is production code. That's what I do. So all our Cardano testing, there we go. So if you give me a new website, you just go to all the JavaScript that is there. And then onto the JavaScript that is there, you import Jimba. That library, this file here. It's complete on itself, doesn't have a dependency. You just import this. If you want to use a CDN, I think if you go to NPM there, I don't know, there is a CDN. You just import that. And then from there, you go through each of your JavaScript where there is a variable to add this only. Then at the top, you are going to add the switches. If you want just to run everything, you just put here. This will run everything. It will run the console logs. It will run the stack frames. It will run everything. But it is not a good idea to run everything because you want to select certain things. Maybe you want to run only functions. I want to run only functions. Then you just do this. Then when you run, then it must run these functions and give you the summary. You see, oh, it is this side here. So, but in this case, I'm not seeing any function running. You know why? Why am I not seeing any function profiling here? It is because my functions here don't have a j.s. So let me show you how this j start at. This thing is already, it already knows this part here. Then you have to give it a label like this. Then you give it a description like this is J start. Let's suppose here we had code. Let me create a for loop. And then here, this for loop is going to move loop 1,000 times. And then it is going to be doing nothing. It will just loop 1,000 times, doing nothing. all what I want to show you is when I come this side now, I can measure the execution of this function. So let me show you. You see here I've said Jimba.start add called. So this add has been called by Jimba. And then it will start profiling, counting execution units. When it reaches here, then it stops. Okay. Probably I will put this return here, because if I put it here, it will never stop here. So when it reaches here, before it gives me this plus this, it will then give me. Now let us test it. Right, there we go. Do you see how many times my function has been called? Call edit. It is even showing that. Then down here at the end, it's showing me add took 0.36 milliseconds. And this shows how many times it has been called. JS called. JS called. Yeah. It tells you now this function is being called. This is start, this is end. That is why now at the bottom here we have got the total time it took for it to run. This is the JS. There is another one, I think JS start. You need to go through the documentation to test all of them. So now, if I don't want to know about 8, because 8 is okay now, I come here and say 0. Do you see now? So the functions that are profiled, testing them stops. So imagine on your page, you have got maybe 300 different functions that are working across. Then you don't know which function is slowing down your computer. It is advisable when you create a function, put j.start, then you give it a label like add. And then when you code, you write your code at the end of the function before you return j.e for end. S is for start profiling, E is for end profiling, and then leave it there. Then you get to Jimba here where it says F underscore F. You put it 0. Then you code. Then when you are done, you want to see which function takes longer, which function takes shorter. Then you switch on the function performance measure, this one. When you do this, all the functions that have got JStart, I didn't put for the JDiv. Can also put that for the JSDiv, and then it will also do the same, profile that. There we go. So all what I'm doing here by saying j.s, I am starting profiling this. Let's test it. It is showing me div here. It is taking longer, but where is the 8? Maybe the 8. There, you see the 8 is there. 8 took, the function 8 took 0.69 milliseconds. And the div took longer. Why? Because you saw me increasing the time. I can go back and reduce this 8 to 10. So definitely you see the div is taking far longer. And then the 8, oh, it's interesting, the 8 is saying 0.81. And this one is 0.81, but what I simply did is I reduced the loop on the 8. So now I'm looping 10 times. Okay, so it means there is somewhere else where I'm missing it. So all what I'm telling you is this way of front side testing doesn't exist on our current front end developers. It's all full of console log, console log, console log, console log. Now, the problem with console log that annoyed me was I've got my page now, it has got 10,000 lines full of console log form. Now I want to get rid of them because my code is okay. I want to ship my code to the customers. Then you have to go to each line where there is console log, delete, 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 delete. Then you ship it to the users. When it is with the users, then they start crying, reporting bugs. Now you don't know where the bugs are happening from. Now you need a log, you need to see. How do you then go back to a shipped code to add on console log, console log? It's not possible. With Jimba, you only switch at the top. Just go to that code, then you switch it on like this. Then when it runs, then we have got not only function profiling. Do you see now? It has got everything now, including pass, fail, whatever. Then you concentrate on the failing part. The failing part. Okay, I want to see only the failing part. I don't want the function. Then you switch off this part. And then you turn on fail only. There you are. Right. Now I'm still getting called div. Right. Where is the, oh yeah, I didn't put 0. Right, let me reload it from this side because it must stop. When you find other bugs with this, you need to let me know to say, hey, this thing is not working the way you're expecting it to work. Like you see now, this called is not stopping. It is supposed to stop the moment I say F0. And then I put a 0 here. It is supposed to stop, but maybe it's because I said run everything. I'm not sorry to say run everything there. I'm supposed to come here and say maybe I want only test. Then the functions must be off. Okay, there we are. Tests are no longer running. I didn't create any test. Now, I haven't created a unity test. You are going to see the unity test here. How do you construct the unity test? Let me show you an example of constructing a unity test. You write j.test. Sorry, our time is longer now. I'm worried. When you are writing a unity test, this is what you do. You write j.test. So if I am to do it here to say, all right, show us how to write a unity test on the same variable, this. See, this is not a test. This is a log. So I'm going to copy this just to show you how a test looks like. Here, you type test, right? And then open bracket. Then you need to give what am I testing, the type. I am testing div answer. Right. Then I go to the next parameter. what is the title of this, the function title? I am under pack here. Yeah, if you don't know what to do, you can write div answer line 43, because you need to know this test is under which group. I will say maybe group A. Actually, you can write the group outside. Div answer group. Sorry, let me just write it there. And then this here, then I leave it like this. Then now, the next parameter, let's go to the next parameter, this AI, doesn't confuse me. You need to specify when I'm testing this div. What am I expecting? It will tell you here when you put this on. All right, let me copy it from here. This one here. I want to copy one with a, which has got a number, but you will understand it here. Right. The J test, the first title is your group, because your tests are going to be grouped. Your unity tests are go to groups. This is how much they work. Then this one here, what are you testing? I'm testing this function. So you put it as a title there. Then down here, you need to call the functions for matching. I might say EQ for equal. Like that. So what does this do? What is this error now? Alias J test. Oh yeah, it is caused by this other line. I'll comment it out. But there's an extra bracket there. Let's go out. Is string EQ. So there is a matchmaker, function matcher, to say, all right, this is the variable that you are testing, the actual variable you are testing. In this case, I can say as number div, which is this variable, this one here. Now, here, what am I expecting it to be? I'm expecting it to be positive. But in this case, all of them are going to be positive. Let me put a minus. So I can say here, dot equal, greater than. See, this is greater than negative. I'm expecting it to be negative. I'm expecting it to be positive. I'm looking for positive numbers. Right, I'm only testing this one here. So this one, I don't need it. I can comment out these ones for now. Let's see what this actual test gives us here. Reference, this number is not defined. Right here, of course, this is this part here. But this is what I call unity test combined with arbitrary ranges. Then you see how many failures you have, how many passes you have, and which are the failures. You can see I'm getting numbers from that range. Of course, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting to get those negative, because if you look at what I did, I definitely put a range with negative there. But in reality, this will be a variable somewhere given by or an API call. You're expecting to receive an object or an array with 100 elements, but you don't know what the elements inside are. Or I am expecting, for example, if I do an API call to a server, I am expecting to receive a collection with at least 5 elements. So then this is what you do here. You put what you have received from the API. At the runtime, you'll be having different values there on the array. Then this side you match with a matcher to say greater than 100, elements greater than 100 or less than or whatever. Then when it is running in real life in production, then the moment the API calls and the database table rows have been deleted, they are less than what you expect, then it comes here, then it prints an error. Or sometimes if the database doesn't even return anything because it's offline. So this is what I call a unity test. What you were doing before when you say j.log, you were doing what we call a light logging and testing on null values, on individual variables and null values. In the beginning, you might find this maybe is too much or it's too difficult. I remember Xavier was struggling with this quite a lot, but eventually he got it right. This is the engine of my front-side testing. So what is your job? Your job is to go clone, download Jimba from NPM there, set up a project for this, and then go through all the Jimba. If you want this open source data, then go through it, see how it was constructed, and you can even improve on it. And then there is a README that takes you from the beginning on how to run and how to test. And you can see here, it even tells you measures for the functions. Here, you can even add your own. Whatever improvements you put here, I am going to add your name here as a contributor on the Jimba side on top as a contributor because it's open source. The purpose of this tool is to bring quality with JavaScript front-side testing. We do not only test JavaScript, even TypeScript. We will test it with this. Not only TypeScript, we will hook Jimba even with React.js, with all JavaScript frameworks. We can go through them there and hook in Jimba test. What is the advantage? You can switch it off when you don't need any test. Then your application runs fast, clean. And later on, if there's a serious bug that you want to replay, then you turn on your testing, you fix it, and then from there, it begins to log all the tests there. All right. If you need me to come back to this and demonstrate, I would be expecting you to have done a thorough learning of that testing too. Okay. Now, what is the meeting for another group? So they are calling me now. Let me hear from you. How is it? How do you find it? Others are phone. Those who are still here. How is it?
On my side, I'll say if you give time to understand and to analyze it, it It's better.
Great. Tenkiso, how do you find it?
I find it very interesting and eager to learn more of it.
Awesome. Frederick Kato, how do you find it?
So I find it so interesting. Like I've learned a lot today.
You've learned a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Nicholas, how do you find it?
So it was interesting, but I think I missed most of the stuff, but I will try to give it some time. Yeah, hopefully I will understand as time goes.
Yes. Right. Thank you so much. The whole point is to have quality tested front side code. All over the world, they are relying on console log, console.log, console.log. And that console.log comes with the browser. It does not help you with the front side quality testing. That is why maybe they are now relying on the server side node, Bangla's tools framework to do automated testing. I'm going to tell you another advantage. Small development teams and small companies do not have the budget to have a full-time tester and then to have a full-time testing team. You, the developer in that small company, you do everything. I was in that situation. You had to look after unity test, integration test, deployment, maintenance, everything, because the company was small. We were only 3, the whole South Africa. So we ended up compromising some certain areas like testing. You just test like the way you are testing. That is why when I went into this Cardano Haskell Bluetooth and I came across their property-based testing feature and their strong emphasis on quality, putting logic into your code. There is more than what you see. What I have shown you there is more than that. We are going to add even more logic onto that testing and add mathematics inside. You are going to see. One, at the end of the day, you are looking at your code to have more confidence in your code. Yes, Matimba, you are the last one now. I have to jump. Over to you.
Okay, sir. I wanted to ask, how do we clone it?
You download it from NPM.
Okay.
If
And
you
then,
want to clone a project with this one here, I have it on GitHub. I think the GitHub one is the latest one. But that project here, this one I didn't upload it for you to clone. All for now, what I need you from your desktop, build it up. You saw how I started. I built everything up, put in an index, and then the only thing that you need that Jimba.js from NPM. So on your VS Code there, you can say NPM install Jimba. It will bring it there for you. And then you set it up manually and practically, the way I did it. I want you to go through this route first. Later on, a project on Coxygen Global will be coming with the Jimba. Moment you clone, it will come with the Jimba. All what you know, what you will be doing is we are just going to be using it just to test. We concentrate on testing, not on setup. For you to understand it, do exactly what I did. You saw from an empty folder, I created a directory, then I created a file, those files that I created. And then from there, I downloaded it using NPM onto my VS Code. And then you see it there on the node packages. So you just take it out, don't need that node, you use it. You can see on the NPM there, we have got something like 400, 500 downloads per week. But I'm not using it. We stopped using it last year when we were doing a lot of things on Coxygen. This year, since January, we have been on Haskell Bluetooth. The same principle of quality testing code using arbitraries. They call it property-based testing and also logical testing, putting logic into the source code. What is the other one? Code coverage. See, code coverage means each part of your code must be tested 100%. This is exactly similar to unity test. The only difference, I combined the front side coding with the testing, because when all your code is there, you can turn the test on. When the page runs, all the tests are executed and you see them on the front side. In a real situation, when you are using testing tools for bigger projects, you are going to have a separate folder with the test engine. Then you'll be calling the testing library separately. So when you start your project, then you run your test. For me, when I get my project, I turn on test, then I run. Then I see everything. Then I count how many failures are down there. Everything passes. It's okay. Now, let's bring logic into testing. This is the most important thing I learned from Haskell. You need to bring reasoning into what you are doing. Don't always automate things that you don't understand. People are telling you do this, then you are done, you go home, say, okay, I've created an app. You need to put in the reasoning there. So you need to ask a lot of questions and question everything. For example, people who are writing unity tests are the same people who are coding those functions, those units. You write your units, on the other side you go and purposefully create a passing test. So when somebody runs your test, they are 1 million and they all pass. Then that person has a confidence with, oh, at least code coverage is 85, 90% and they are passing. So it means there is a higher degree of confidence. That's a lie. Human beings are subjective. I will create purposefully test to pass. Where I can't because it's difficult, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. It will take me more time. Testing is a headache. It takes a lot of time. Testing takes more time than coding. So what I'm saying to you from my reasoning, logic, unity test written by the person who wrote those functions, those units, is already biased towards that person. Why not? I code my functions. I give them to Matimba. Matimba writes the test. Matimba, you write test to fail. You are writing test to make sure that you show me, hey, your code has got so many loopholes. Every time I run your test, my code fails. Then I say, oh my God, I didn't think deep. You see, Matimba is coming here being paid to fail my code. I am paid to block. So you see that now it hardens the code. Take this person who is my adversary now to be a hacker. The hacker wants to bring down the whole system to find as many holes as he can so that he can make money. Okay? On the other side, I'm very defensive. trying to close everywhere, trying to bring quality code. This is where, at some point in time, I throw away all these other programming languages. Then I want to go to Haskell. You know why? Because the Haskell compiler is very strict. It will even help me catch syntax errors. It is a strongly typed language, similar to TypeScript. TypeScript is imitating Haskell for functional programming. But the moment there, again, remember, the moment there is mutation there is more loopholes for bugs. But I am telling you that for me, if I add reasoning to our testing environment we have, the tester must not be the one who wrote the units or the functions, the objects, whatever, who wrote, must be somebody else. And that somebody else must be paid to bring down that code. I will tell you, a simple function that I am sending there to be tested will come back with 17 errors that I never thought of. Similar to what I showed you when we started testing, that the normal thing we do, we just create a function, add, and then down there, you check if it is working, you give it 2 numbers, give it 4 and 5, and it gives you 9. Clap hands, pat yourself, say, this function is working. Then we go to the next one, division. Division, you test it, you give it 2 numbers, and then you divide. And the numbers you are giving division, 6 divided by 2. I'm expecting 3. I get my 3, fine. My function is okay. But give it to an adversary. An adversary is going to give your division first number 6, second number 0, crashes. Then, as a graduate, as a professional developer, did I never think that anyone can give a 0? I can receive a 0 to divide. I can have a number divided by 0, and it is going to crash. I didn't put a guard to check always that the second number is not a 0. It can be a minus. It can be a positive. It must never be a 0. It will crash. I didn't think. So here is my point. My point is the testing that is currently being done, it's better than nothing. But still, if we put reasoning into it, the testers, they must create tests to bring down your code and to earn more money. And you are being paid quality code and close, bring quality code, make more money. So you see the two will keep on fighting. You will get to extreme difficult testing, like promises. Then you realize, okay, yeah, but then it's good because then the shipped code is quality code. It is quality code. And number 2, it brings in collaboration and peer reviews on code. In Cardano, peer review of code is very important. Auditing is one of the things that they don't want to love or even neglect. That is why sometimes when I code my code, I look at it, I say, no, it's not good enough. I'm not going to show them. It is not good enough. But with a lot of students we have here, I want you to master this testing the correct way. I'll be giving you some books or some areas to read deeper. And then you do that. Because later on, you are going to be using advanced tools for testing. All right, I think let's call it a day for now. I jump to the other side. Thank you. Call it a day. And then your job now, you have work to do. Over to you. Thank you.